Hey glitter babes, what's up? It's your girl Leisha Lux if you're nasty. I am back with another story time slash ebook journal tell all. Well, hold on, wait a minute. It's not a tell all. I wouldn't need to sell it if I was going to tell it all. But yeah, this is another story time from the title of this here story slash I don't know what I want to call it. Like, I don't know. Info. I don't know. Anyways, from the title of it, you already know what I'll be talking about. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, comment, share, and all of that good stuff because y'all will love it over here. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I am trying to also stay consistent. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and give y'all a story or some kind of content every week, if not twice a week. So I don't really have any set days yet, because I do different things on different days. That's another thing that I need to do is organize my life so that I can get or have certain set days that I do my content and put it out, edit it and put it out. So anyways, like I was saying, from the title of this story, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, let's get to it. Oh, don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. They will be listed down below, and also go check out my Amazon storefront. So yeah, y'all, this is a story time slash information getter. I don't know what to call it. On moving out of state. I wanted to share this with you guys because moving out of state isn't easy. I know it's a lot of people that want to do it, but probably has not done it yet because it's scary. It is. It's very, very scary. And I want to help you guys out on like kind of giving you guys some pointers on taking that leap of faith, you know, because that's exactly what I did. And yeah, I went through it for a time. I'm not even gonna sit up here and hold y'all and lie. I went through it for a time. I had some very horrible times, and I also had some great times. It has gotten to a point now to where I am more comfortable out of town than I am in my hometown. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but to me, it's a good thing. So yeah, let's get down to it. The reason that I moved out of state in the first place, I was having so many difficulties back home in my home state, Florida. I'm from Tampa. I was having so many difficulties from my baby daddy wife to ex getting in trouble, just I was just having a hard time. My baby daddy wife had done got me kicked off of, I was on Section 8 at the time, and she had done got me kicked off of Section 8. She knew somebody in the office, and that person that she knew in the office, she told them that X was living with me and that X was on probation. So they called, verified, and I told X, do not put my address on anything. He did it anyways, and voila, there that was. So once that happened, I knew. Now, mind y'all, I already knew I did not want to live in Tampa. I always knew that I did not want to live the rest of my life in Tampa. I always knew that I wanted to move. So I just didn't know when. So when all of this stuff was, I felt like I was alone. I felt like I couldn't get no help from anybody. Hell, people probably couldn't help me because they needed to help themselves. They couldn't even help their damn self, and that's totally fine. But at the same time, I just felt like I couldn't get no help from nobody. I felt like I was alone in that whole situation. I was about to be homeless. Before I even moved, I ended up going to stay living with my cousin before me and X ended up packing up. Well, we hadn't already packed up. We had a whole bunch of stuff in her house because we was broke. We had a whole bunch of shit in her house piled up, stacked, because we knew we was getting ready to move. We was only supposed to stay with her for about maybe a week or two until we got the U-Haul and all of that stuff. So yeah. So once that happened, we ended up getting the U-Haul, packing up the U-Haul, and moving along to Bainbridge, Georgia. Now, the story time that I recorded before this one, that's why you see me with the same makeup and the same shirt and all of that on, because I was just telling the story about when we first moved to Bainbridge, how the dog attacked me and my homegirl's baby. So but yeah, we went, this is around that time, this 2010. I ended up just upping and moving. No, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell, well, I told my mom, and my cousin knew. A few people in my family knew, but I didn't tell any one of my baby daddies that I was leaving. I was just over it, y'all. Yeah, I was wrong for that. I should have told. Actually, no, I'm lying. I did tell them. I told them. No, I didn't tell the first one, because the first one, me and him were not talking. We were going through it. Me, him, and his wife. She was part of the reason why this move was happening, because me and her just kept getting into it, and I was, had I stayed there and continue to feud with her, I probably wouldn't be here in front of this camera right now, guys. I would probably be in prison for killing her. No lie. No joke. Dead serious. She one of them girls that when you whoop her ass, she still gonna talk shit after. She one of them type girls. So if y'all know what kind of girl I'm talking about, yeah. Put that, y'all know that emoji where the little girl be raising her hand. Put that down there below if y'all know what kind of girl I'm talking about. Anyways, this story time is not about her at this time, but yeah, I am gonna have the baby daddy series. I'm gonna have that maybe after this, after the X-Files series. I am gonna do the baby daddy series, so stay tuned for that. So we ended up moving to Bainbridge. That whole dog thing happened. We stayed there for about maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I want to say that in that third week, we were set out to stay there for maybe a month or so. Like I said in that last story, we were supposed to take over ex's aunt's place. She ended up changing her mind at the end, ended up moving in his cousin's spot. But during all of that, I've already really gave y'all pieces and bits and pieces in other story times about me moving, when I moved, who I moved with, or whatever. But I think in this, I'm going to tell you guys, like, the process, how it was, how I moved, like all of that kind of stuff. Now, at the time, I had... When I moved here, did I have my daddy truck, or did I have my I want to say I had a green Explorer. I want to say I moved from Tampa in my green Explorer. I don't think that I had the rodeo yet. I will I will correct it when I edit this video. But I think I moved with my, I had a U-Haul, and on the back of the U-Haul, we pulled the truck. So we really didn't have that much stuff. Oh, actually, before I get into that, yeah, baby daddy's wife ended up getting me kicked off Section 8 in the midst of me trying to move into a house that I really, really wanted, y'all. I really, really wanted this house. It was so freaking nice. And I want to say the next week, she ended up calling, or I ended up getting a letter or something stating that I had been kicked off Section 8. If I wanted to appeal, go to the whole trial thing, I can do that. I did that. Honey, when I tell you, when I went to that trial, y'all, I wanted to wring her friend's neck. I wanted to beat her ass so bad. You hear me? Let me tell you something. To do that to my children, not even me, fuck me, to do that to my children. You, first of all, you don't even know me. You just know what she told you that happened. And like I said, I'm not going to get too into that until the baby daddy series. You just know what she told you, that you don't know my side of the story. So for you to do that to my children, if karma has not caught up with you and her by now, oh, it will. It will. Because you and I and her and God know that I did not deserve to be kicked off my Section 8. But you know what, y'all? That was a very, very humbling experience. After I got kicked off, I never wanted to be on there again, because they always in your business anyways. They have a say so of who lives with you, who don't. You always, they got to get in your house inspected. Like, it was just too much for me. So I was like, you know what? God does everything for a reason. Okay. And maybe that reason was for me to thug it out and get my shit together and not need fucking Section 8. And that's what I did. But as I was saying, I think I had my green Explorer. So we put the truck on the back of the U-Haul and we just set out. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell y'all the do's and the don'ts. During my moving experience, I don't suggest that you guys do anything that I did, because I didn't have a person to tell me what to do when you move out of town, what not to do when you move out of town. I just had to do it and get through it, you know, pretty much. We get to my friend's house and, you know, she was very welcoming, you know, me, my dude, and my 2 kids, very welcoming. She didn't even want us to leave when we left. But the little small town, I just couldn't do it. I'm just a city girl to heart. Now, Huntsville, it was definitely country as well, but it wasn't as country as Bainbridge. It had a little bit of both. It had a little bit of country and a little bit of city. So I was able to kind of adjust to that a little bit more than I did Bainbridge. But during this time, like I said, I wouldn't advise you guys to do what I did, because, you know, like I told you guys, I had just put my kids in school once I hit Bainbridge. You have to put these kids, I'm going to say, I'm talking to everybody. This is information for any and everybody that wants to move out of state, whether you have kids or not. You know, I had to put my kids in school. Remember I told y'all we didn't stay that long. We probably stayed about maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So I had to take them out of school. And then, you guys, different states and counties have different things that they require as far as school and children. Maybe different shots that they have, you know what I'm saying, to go get. You know, you have to transfer all types of records, medical records, to the doctors that you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, go to. It's just a lot that comes with switching states. It's a lot that comes with switching states. But aside from that, y'all, this was kind of the hardest thing that I had to adjust to when moving out of my hometown. Let me tell y'all something. A bitch may not think so. I love my hometown. I love it to visit. I don't love it to live there. If that makes any, I just wanted to see other things. Yes, I could have visited and went on trips and did that, but I just wanted to experience more than Tampa. If that makes any sense. But I had to adjust to them not having certain foods that I was so used to eating from the foods that I was raised on. So that's one thing that you have to think about when you want to move out of town, out of state. They may not have the foods that you are used to in that different state. And it ain't nothing you can do. I mean, yeah, you can go visit and bring some back, but how often you gonna do that? How often you gonna do that? You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna be able to do that every time you get ready for something that you ate back in your hometown. You ain't gonna be able to do that every single time. But yeah, you have to adjust to what is it called, adjust, and you have to sacrifice certain things, such as that, when you move. It's a lot of people don't, let me tell you something, only the strong survive, honey, because it's a lot of people that don't make it. They go back home, they end up getting homesick and going back home because they can't really handle the move, you get homesick. And let me tell you something, I done got homesick plenty of times. I still get kind of homesick today, even though I've been gone from Tampa for maybe 12 years now. I've been gone from Tampa 12 years, and I still kind of get homesick. I miss our music. I miss our local music. I miss the food, of course. I miss my family, of course. I miss my friends, but you know, I see my friends a bit often, you know, because we do like little trips and stuff. But yeah, I still get homesick to this day. You know, but that's something that you have to ask yourself, like, do you want to make it in your home state, or do you want to move out of state? You know what I'm saying? And you have to weigh those, write that stuff down. You need to write that stuff down and pretty much figure it out, and figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. I suggest that you plan it out. It's a lot of people that would say just get up and go. I don't suggest that if you have children. Now, if you don't have any children and it's just you, or if it's just you and your dude, hell, get up and go. Get up and go, especially if you got some go-getter about yourself. You know that you can you know, possibly make it in another state, in another county. You can go and, you know what I'm saying, get on your feet swiftly, go find a job. If y'all are go-getters, then yeah, hell yeah, why not? Shit, you only live once. You got one life, and we are here for a good time and not a damn long time. So yeah, let me go to my notes. But yeah, I suggest that you plan things out. Figure out like what you gonna do when you get there as far as work is concerned. Now, I think that you should try and fill out applications in the area that you are thinking about moving in. I think that you should fill out applications around that area. Yeah, that's another thing. Before the jobs, you got to figure out what area that you want to move in. And this is not for the people that is just gonna up and go. I'm talking about the people that's gonna sit and write and plan this stuff out. You have to figure out where you gonna go, what county, what city, what state. Once you do that, you are definitely going to have to figure out the job situation, how you're going to get, if you have not saved any money, or if you have saved any money, how you're going to keep getting money, or how you're going to get money once you get there. Transportation, if you don't have any, you're going to have to figure out how to use their local bus, train, all that kind of transportation. And yeah, pretty much write down what you want to do, when you want to do it. It's just pretty much just writing down your goals and things that you want to accomplish while going on this journey. That's why I made this journal and also did this ebook, because like I said, moving out of state is not an easy thing. Once I ended up in Huntsville, it was pretty easy going. We lived with, let me tell you something, it was such a humbling experience, because we moved in with his cousin who wasn't the cleanest. And that's another thing that you have to take in, take heed. Like, if you are going, where you gonna live? Like, are you going to get your own place once you get there? Are you going to stay with somebody? And if you are going to stay with somebody, do they live how you live? Are they as clean as you? You know, all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't suggest y'all do what I did, and I just up and left. I was just tired over the whole everything, Tampa, my situation. I was just up. I had it up to here, y'all. I was out of there. I didn't know how I was gonna get it, but I knew I was gonna get it. And eventually, once I got to Huntsville, things started looking up. And I was able to, in a week, I want to say, get a job. I started working at Popeyes. Me and X started working at Popeyes. We got the girls in school. I want to say we moved in with cousin that August. I want to say that August. And then I want to say we moved in with cousin that August. And we moved in August 2010, and by 2011 January, baby, I had the keys to my own place. So I had to endure what it was, August or September, October, November, December, January. So in 5 months, I got my shit together. I moved in with cousin in August, and by January of the next year, I had the keys to my own place. Honey. When I tell you, that was one of the best feelings ever. That was one of the best feelings ever. To accomplish that in 5-6 months. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't looked back since. You know, once I did that, we had to furnish the place. And I want to say this was around the time that drops was, you know what I'm saying, drops was going on. So we got in on a few of those, and that helped us out a lot, tremendously. And then X started to go to jail. That was definitely a trial in this scenario, because it was hard. When he got locked up, it was hard. Okay, he got locked up, and he got locked up for months at a time. You hear me? Just there, they don't play here. They don't play that driving with suspended license. So he got locked up for driving with suspended license. We had like a housewarming party, and we invited everybody that we knew from work and just people that we met. Like, Huntsville was a beautiful experience for us. It was very beautiful. And like I was gonna say, I'm gonna dedicate this video to my homeboy. He has now passed on from COVID. He passed away from COVID. And sleep well, baby. Sleep well. I'm not gonna, well, I can say his name. I think I'm gonna put his name in dedication and all of that on the screen, you know, once I finish this, you know, story. But yeah, he passed away. When X was gone, he was my savior. He helped me out with things that I needed help with, as far as a man is concerned. That man ain't never tried me. That man ain't never I can't tell y'all if he has ever looked at me in a certain way. I don't know, but I don't think that he did. He has never tried me, never tried to talk to me. He's always come off as a brother figure. And I was so grateful to have known him in the prime of his life. He was so much fun. He was everything. He was just a fucking class clown, a goofball. He was everything. He was a breath of fresh air when you were down. He was the light in the sun when you were dim. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Chris, I love you, baby. I hope you are looking down on us. And yes, rest in heaven. But anywho, so yeah, So I had him to fall back on, to make me feel, to take me out of those slumps, because it was a whole lot of times where I felt like I was doubting myself, failing. Y'all, it was a time. I definitely had some trying times in moving out of state. I fought through them. For the most part, I had ex there to help me fight through them. Those times that I didn't have him and it was just me and the girls, I had to just do what I had to do. In which you would have to do the same, whether you are with someone, a significant other, or by yourself. You just gonna have to do what you have to do. You just gotta pull through, or you will sink. You will not float. You will be ready to go back to your home state and start all over again. So yeah. We got to Huntsville and everything was beautiful. We were in Huntsville maybe a year or two. I want to say a year, because we stayed in an upstairs. Once somebody tried to break in the house, I ended up moving in the same apartments but downstairs, in a whole nother building. And y'all, when I moved over there, there was a huge storm that hit Huntsville, Alabama, and it took out the whole city, lights, water. It was horrible. Ex was in jail. By this time, I had asked one of my homegirls to, I named her in one of the other story times. But I asked one of my homegirls to come and stay with me, because I was afraid. I didn't know who at the time. I didn't know who was trying to break in my house and why. So I asked her to come down, because I knew X wasn't getting out no time soon, because X had to get transported all the way or expedited back to Florida for another for a charge that he got down in Florida. I want to say that he was on probation on, so he had a probation hold or whatever, and they had to come to Huntsville to get him, and they came to Huntsville to get him. So yeah, I went through that. Like I said, baby, it was some extra nice people in Huntsville. Once that storm hit, we had Mexicans all around us. Let me tell you something. When you in a storm, baby, and you are out of electricity and water and honey, them Mexicans didn't play when it came to that motherfucking food, honey. Them Mexican had that spread. You hear me? On that grill. They had that motherfucking spread on that grill, and didn't hesitate to offer if we wanted some, or if we wanted them to put something on the grill while they had the grill fired up. Just all of that. It was so frustrating and depressing because X wasn't there. But at the same time, it was refreshing that, it was a village. You know what I mean? And you just got to know where you moving at. I suggest that you go and visit a few times, which we did. We went to visit ATL, not Huntsville. Huntsville was just a blessing. Like I said, I had a whole village around me to help me out of the situation that I was in, and I'm so very thankful for everybody that helped me. One of the major ones that helped me, he is not on this earth anymore, and he already know how thankful I was. Baby, if you didn't know how thankful I was, honey, rest in peace. Like I said, you already know what it is. As far as I had a manager, y'all. I ain't never told y'all this story, y'all. Let me just go ahead and stick this in here too. I had a manager. Her name was I'm just gonna call her Miss A. So she ended up hiring me at Popeyes. So like during my first week, I want to say my first day I started at Popeyes, bitch, I ended up getting a bug. I got sick, was shitting, throwing up everywhere. Bitch could not stop. Now, mind you, I told you, ex-cousin, she wasn't real clean when it comes to the house. Wasn't clean at all. Her kids ended up getting me and my kids. And ex sick. Shit, I want to say everybody was in that motherfucker shitting and throwing up except for her. That's what I want to say. Anyway, so I goes to work. You know, at the time when I went to work, I didn't know that I wasn't sick. Just all of a sudden, it just came over me. Whoosh. And bitch, I went to throwing up, having to run to the bathroom, shitting everywhere. She thought that either I was pregnant or that I was hungover. And I'm like, no, I'm neither. But I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I don't know. So she had to send me home on my first day. So I ended up having to stay home. I ended up telling her, going to the doctor and telling her that it was a bug, and she ended up just taking me off the schedule for the rest of the week and putting me back on the following week. Not only that, just understood, very understanding. I love her to this day. I have not talked to her in a long while since my homeboy's funeral, but love her down. Love her down. I wish I had her phone number. I will call her sometime. But yeah, she know, like in Huntsville it snows. She knew that I didn't have a vehicle, and she would come pick me up, bring me to work every single morning that I had to work. You don't find those kind of people these days. You don't find, they are a needle in a haystack. You don't find those kind of people, you know. And I am very thankful for Huntsville. They are awesome. Everybody that I came across, just awesome. But yeah, so I said all of that to say that you just got to know what area that you are moving in, and try and get to know some genuine people at the same time, and hopefully those blessings just come, because in Huntsville that's what they did. Them blessings came, and I got on my feet, thank God. Ex had a home to come back to, and once he went to jail the second time, it was a wrap. ATL Georgia was where I was headed. That's where I should have been in the first place. But like I said, I will not turn the hands of time, and I do not regret going to Huntsville, because had I not went to Huntsville, I would not have met the people, the wonderful people that I met, and I'm so grateful and thankful. So I'm glad that little detour. Like I said, God does everything for a reason. He does. So after the second time that he went to jail and got out, soon as he got out, maybe a week or so later, we up and moved to ATL. We left my homegirl there. She ended up finding her own place. She ended up finding her man there. She ended up finding her man and finding her own place or whatever. She was a bit skeptical about coming at first, because she was scared to move out of town. You know, moving out of state is a scary thing to even think about, let alone just upping and doing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I sounded so country when I said that. But yeah, so yeah, we went to ATL, and I am going to cut this story off, and I'm going to make this a part 2, because I feel like I've been talking y'all ear off for a whole hour right now. So, yeah, I'm going to make this a part 1 and 2. And yeah, I will see y'all on the next one.